Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into another Next Level Broadcasting presentation of Charlevoix High School Raider Athletics here. Shane Smith, Jared Stamen, Derek Steele, and Mr. Carter Doolittle bringing this one to you live here from the house that Keith Haskey built as the Raiders take on the Elk Rapids Elks. Jared, we've got a battle for the Raiders on their hands tonight, a big test at that. Elk Rapids comes into this game at a 15-3 record. Charlevoix, the opposite end of that, 5-13. The last time these two teams played each other, Jared, you were there in Elk Rapids. It was a 53-34 game.
Well, you know, Charlevoix actually fought pretty hard in that first half, but the thing is about Charlevoix is they can't finish, and with a game against the Elks, you have to, because their defense is why they are undefeated in the Northern Shores Conference. All three of those losses are out-of-conference losses.
I see. Well, as we welcome you in here to our Charlevoix State Bank pregame show, there we go. Bear with me. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been on air down at school. We are going to send it down to the floor and down to our PA announcer and my partner with Next Level Broadcasting football games, Ann Gorney, as we take it to the national anthem, and we'll get into the starting lineups on the other side of this. Alrighty, now as we come back into this one, the starting lineups, I will say, rather light Charlevoix student section for being a Friday night basketball game, LMC conference, and a nice day today as well. No bad weather on the road, so hopefully that'll fill in a little bit more. But in the meantime, we'll get into our Elk Rapids Elks starting lineup. Starting with number 2, Cameron Kerfoot. Followed behind him, number 3, Tyler Stanfist. I will say Kerfoot has quite the tattoo there on his left arm. Coming up now, number 4, Jaden Horesco. Followed by number 11, Mason Hilly. And last but certainly not least for your visiting Elks, number 21, Jake Moore.
Well, Shane, that's either some new ink or temporary tattoo, because that's the first time I've seen that on him, and covered a few Elks games over the days.
Well, doesn't look too bad on him. But here we go, back over to Charlevoix's side. We've got Ian Moran to begin. Number 5, Carter Greenacre. Number 12, Jason McNamara. Coming up behind him, number 20, Brody Horrigan. And last but certainly not least for Charlevoix, the famous number 23, Joe Gaffney. So, Jared, I got to ask you here, you've done some Charlevoix games, certainly more than I have this season. What are some things that Charlevoix is kind of missing right now in order to fire on all 8 cylinders?
Cohesion on offense. They definitely lack leadership. A lot of young guys, they're not playing on the varsity level together. Joe Gaffney tries his best, but, he can't be out there the full game. And another thing is the three-point shot between Gaffney and Greenacre. They're about it. You see Moran or Talon Jacobs can hit it from time to time, but not consistently enough to really threaten the defense and stretch the floor. And if they want to have a chance to beat the undefeated Northern Shores Elk Rapids team, they're going to have to hit some threes and not turn the ball over. And the Elks, they just got to play their game. They got to not be rattled. They're on the road Friday night. Don't start thinking about the future. Take care of business tonight and, have fun afterwards.
Alrighty, so we're going to get underway here again. This has been your Charlevoix State Bank pregame show. Charlevoix does win the tip here. So Joe Gaffney will march this one across the logo. Of note, Talon Jacobs was not on the starting 5 this evening. I remember him being on the starting 5 quite a bit so far this season. We'll get this one off to Mr. Greenacre at the top now to Moran. McNamara here looking to find someone to pass it off to. Finds Horgan. Horgan's one that Charlevoix would like to see develop more on the shooting side of things so far this season. Gets it back over to McNamara. Finds a lot of trouble there from Jake Moore. Back around we go. Up top once again, this time to Greenacre. Greenacre deadly from that spot. Thought about it a couple times. Gets it back over to Horgan. Excellent perimeter defense so far from Elk Rapids, but don't let Joe Gaffney be open, although that one sailed past the basket harmlessly. The Elks will get it for the first time this evening after a 53-second opening Charlevoix possession.
Yeah, he just pushed the ball there. Didn't get enough legs into it, because I'm not sure if you know, Shane, a lot of your power from your shot actually comes from your legs, not your arms.
Yeah, and I know that full well because I'm such a great shooter when we're out there on the court. That's for sure. And that will be knocked away by a Raider, so the Elks will keep it at this end of the court.
Yeah, just quick hands there. I mean, that's the one thing. Greenacre, he's got the length to play those passing lanes, and between him and Talon Jacobs, they dominate those passing lanes.
Risco on the inbound to Moore. Back around to Cameron Kerfoot at the top. He loses that one, gets it over just in the nick of time for the mid-ranger from Moore. No good as it bounces off the iron into the hands of Horgan, and the rest of the Raiders we go. Moran charges his way down into the key, not able to get that one to fall right into the hands of Horesco, or the hoofs of Horesco and the Elks, you might say. And the next opportunity falls off by Mason Hilly. Charlevoix has it right back. One possession for the Raiders in 53 seconds, the ensuing 45. Each team has seen it twice. Horgan puts it up, draws the foul.
Good job baiting the foul by Horgan, and he doesn't usually see the start. He's been seen a little bit more, but the rotation has changed. You've seen Anchula been in there. Talon Jacobs recently has not been starting as much. I know you've been a little out of the rotation, and for the Elks, Mason Hilly, a guy who was getting a lot of bench minutes to start the year and now becoming a prominent starter, good 3-and-D player. You'll see him all over Gaffney and Greenacre tonight. Yeah,
I did notice that. In the couple of Elk Rapids games that I called back before New Year's, Hilly was not on the starting 5, so interesting to see him make his way out there. I'm sure well-deserved.
Yeah, his improvement is one of the most I've seen in this Northern Shores.
Okay. Both of those free throws fall off the iron from Mr. Horgan. Back the other way we go for the Elks. Up now to Kerfoot. He'll work against Gaffney. Puts it up from about 6 feet out and gets the first points of the game.
Well, the Kerfoot work there was pretty nice on that hop step.
Nice.
Getting into his spot, senior leader on the team, one of the best players, part of the reason that they're undefeated in the North Shores.
McNamara takes this one to the baseline, gets it back over to Horgan. He tries for a 3, falls short. McNamara tried to get the rebound. Right there was Horesco. Now it'll be Stanfest working it down to the paint. Back up top, Horesco for the 3-point try, and it's in.
Well, we see a nice shot by Horesco. He got hurt early on in the year with that shoulder injury, and this is the first game I've seen him start in a while. Caden Schlicker not on the court tonight. I'm not sure where he's at. I've not seen him on the bench. The typical starter missing for the Elks.
5-0 start here for the Elks after going almost 2 minutes to begin the game scoreless. They've gone on a quick spurt. Moran tries for 3, and there's the Raiders' first points of the game.
Well, I was going to mention earlier Brody Horgan shooting that 3. I like to see them shoot the 3. You got to threaten the defense. You can't just sit out there and not be confident.
It's good to see Ian Moran make that 3 because he's not been one that I've seen make a lot of shots from deep in recent years, but for him to give it a good try there, get it in, was a nice look. Speaking of nice look, Jake Moore banks one off the window there, brings it back to a 4-point lead, 7-3, Jared.
Yeah, one of the best post players in our Northern Shores, Jake Moore. Good rebounder, good post play. Just call him the eraser for the Elks as he helps limit their mistakes.
Nice. And that'll be a travel on McNamara. Quick little drag of the toe there, goes back the other way. One of only a couple turnovers we've seen so far in the opening 3.25 minutes of this game. Taking care of the inbound, Stanfest to Kerfoot. Kerfoot working it to the free throw line. Back around the arc we go. Pulls up from about 6 feet once again. That was Moore, not able to get that one to fall. There on the rebound was Mr. Greenacre. Gaffney taking it across the timeline here. 4:26 to go in the opening quarter of this one. Horgan with only one man to beat, stops. Not able to get that one to fall. We do have Mr. Moore hurt there. I believe he took a hard shoulder there from Horgan. Got the camera panned away there. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break and be back after this.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
This is Noah's Ark. It's more than just sports. It's your pathway for growth, a building block for the future you, and your pathway to the healthiest version of yourself. Noah's Ark is only the beginning step, and your time is now to take control and design the road ahead of your own unique journey. The journey to your truth. This is the Ark, Noah's Ark. Won't you step up to your better you today?
Make sure to close it.
All right, coming back in here just a moment ago. Thankfully, Moore was able to come off under his own power. We discussed it. Looked like he just got the wind knocked out of him. Horgan's shoulder found him square in the middle of his chest there. Thankfully, he seems to be okay. The foul will be called, and Mr. Kerfoot gets his 4th point of the game.
Yeah, tough shot there. And, yeah, I think Moore just, those gut shots, man, he took a hit. I mean, Brody Horgan's not exactly a small player either. So, you got two number 20s colliding into each other. It's you're going to hear it, and you're going to feel it.
Mm-hmm. So for our first free throw pair of the night for Elk Rapids, the N1 there, good by Kerfoot, makes it a 3-point play the old-fashioned way, gets them up by 7, 10-3. Moran trying to work this one against Stanfest. 3:53 to go in the first quarter. McNamara has it up here at the top, looking for a man to get it off to. Finds Gaffney. And again, the Raiders kept primarily on the perimeter so far to begin this game. Not able to get it inside too much. Greenacre thought about it, will work his way in briefly, gets it stripped away by Kerfoot, and away they go once again.
Yeah, that zone was just giving him a ton of trouble there. Is good pass out to Horesco.
Oh, not able to get that one to go. Of note, Colin Shockley in for Mr. Jake Moore.
Shockley trying to take advantage of the minutes. Schlicker out, Moore taking a little hit. His time to shine here in some varsity minutes.
McNamara hands this one off to Greenacre. He'll pull up for the 3. Why not when you can make it in like that with a guy right in front of your face? I suppose you'd have the confidence to do so.
Yeah, between him and Gaffney, the 3-point line is merely a suggestion.
Well, that got the Raiders a little bit of a spark of life back in here as they hadn't scored in about 3 game minutes. 10-6 now. Stanfest works his way in, draws the foul.
That's the thing Stanfest can do so well, draw contact. He's one of those guys, he's the modern player. Positionless basketball. He plays the point, usually one of the tallest, longest guys on the court. Very similar to what Greenacre will look like, as he's a junior and a senior. Very similar player archetypes. Good at driving, can shoot the 3 ball. Greenacre might have the edge on the 3 ball, but in the paint, the post, Stanfest got the upper hand.
Stanfest, his first point of the night at the charity stripe. And speaking of Greenacre, he picked up his first foul of the evening. Talon Jacobs and Patrick McClure in for the Raiders. Two for 2 there for Stanfest. Brings us back to a 6-point, 2-possession affair, 12-6, 2:40 to go in the first quarter. Moran got that handle lost there, knocked around a bit by Mr. Hresko. Moran and Greenacre, the only scoring members of the Raider ball club so far down there on the court.
Yeah, full court press giving him troubles, and it looks like Charlevoix is going to try to do a similar, more of a half court as Moran's working on Kerfoot. Should be a fun matchup to watch as Moran's a tenacious defender.
Good to see here. Jake Moore back in after getting a well-deserved breather on the bench. Three-point try up and away, no good by Hilly. Moore trying to get the rebound, goes back the other way. Greenacre tries to deliver the mail by himself. The tip in by McClure doesn't fall as well. Kerfoot gets it back here, gets a handle on it, sends it back up court to Hresko, and the Elks have it once again. Stanfest now staring down McClure. Back around to Hilly, and Carter Greenacre with the takeaway. The foul coming up here against Elk Rapids.
Good hands by Greenacre. One of those guys, we always talk about threes, three-point ability, his scoring ability, because, offense is the flashy, all the numbers. But, gosh, he is such a great defender, Shane. I can tell you just from watching, 2 steals and a block is pretty standard. If they counted all those stats, I could confidently tell you he'd average that minimum.
Well, good to see him out there performing so well for sure, although I will say Hilly picked up his first foul here for the Elks. McClure with a good head on his shoulders. Waited for the right opportunity as a sophomore. Got the bucket in, and it's back to a 4-point game. Becomes the third Raider to score, but the answer back 3 from Mason Cannon as he fires one in.
Yeah, and they're going to take a timeout. Mason Cannon in this year 2026 has been hot from beyond the arc, shooting it. Oh, my goodness, I got to say, high 40%. I mean, we watch him, he doesn't miss very many of those, especially when he's that open.
This is Noah's Ark. It's more than just sports. It's your pathway for growth, a building block for the future you, and your pathway to the healthiest version of yourself. Noah's Ark is only the beginning step.
Alrighty, coming back in, ladies and gentlemen. The Raiders have it back after a Mason Cannon shot there. Falls in for 3. Got the biggest deficit so far of the game for Charlevoix. 7 points, or ties it rather. As Talon Jacobs does all he can against Cannon. Works his way into the paint, gets it knocked away. Moore comes away with it.
Like to see him take that one to the rack. Left-handed player. Got to finish there.
And the cleanup job. Nice there by Kerfoot. Plum started that whole affair for the Elks. Back to a now 9-point lead, 17-8. Kerfoot has it back up top to Plum now. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Oak Rapids feeling good about themselves, up by almost double digits already, and they will be now that Moore gets his first points in since going to the bench there after that shoulder check by Horrigan. Stanfest gets it away again for the Elks. He'll be drawing yet another foul.
Those long arms of Stanfest just reaching in the cookie jar.
I know.
Stealing cookies away from the Raiders.
Charlotte picks up their third foul. That'll be the first against Joe Gaffney. Moore to Stanfest to Plum. Now inside, back to Moore. A little bit too much power there into the hands of McClure. Charlevoix has 24 seconds to work with here, down by 11. Gaffney trying to power it past Moore, thinks better of it, gets back over to Greenacre. Now to Moran, that one goes off an elk hoof, we'll say. And he'll stay down here with 5.8 seconds to go in the quarter. Coming back in to finish that off will be Hresko, allowing Kerfoot to get a couple gasps of breath there on the seat.
It's interesting. They've been in zone most of the night. Switch back to man there. See if they'll stick it to that man.
Too much power there. Gaffney got the deflection away from Moore into the hands of Talon Jacobs. Was not able to connect there on the short range, about 3-foot bucket. So the Raiders will remain down by 11, 19-8 as we go into the second frame of action here in this game. But first, we're going to have a quick commercial and be back on the other side of this in about 60 seconds. Condon has it, left block, slams it home.
The Glen Lake student section, they're pumped up.
Already coming back in, ladies and gentlemen. The Elks have the ball to begin this second quarter. They're up by 11, 19-8. Charlevoix with multiple chances down at their end of the court, but just not able to connect so far, Jared.
Yeah, well, the Elk Rapids defense has been stout. Got a couple turnovers, and just kind of what you thought could happen. The Elks are just such a talented team.
Moore puts one up, that rolls around, falls away. Last touched by Skylar Blecky for Charlevoix, who just came in a few moments ago at the beginning of this quarter.
Yeah, and Blecky's been playing more minutes as the season's gone on, and he's played some good ones. I mean, senior, one of the other leaders on this team, along with Joe Gaffney and Brody Horrigan.
Moore with the extra step, not able to get that one to go. Second attempt there, that time by Stanfest, falls away.
Lit on the basket there.
I know. Somehow those both went to the front and the back, but not inside the basket. So where we go. Talon Jacobs brought it this end of the court. Now to Carter Greenacre. Inside to Moran. Nice bounce pass over to Blecky. He is left wide open. That one just a little too much mustard as it falls away.
You can't be mad at that. That was a great back cut by Moran finding the open man. You can live with open misses.
And Blecky not exactly one who shoots a ton either. And that'll be a foul coming up on Mr. Talon Jacobs. So good to see him trying to get a shot off there. Blecky had a good open look. It was very close, just not able to get that one to fall in. And so Jacobs, like I said, picks up his first foul. That'll be against Stanfest.
Jacobs, another one of the sophomores who's got a promising future. Defensively, one of the best players, rivaling Greenacre. Just got to get some of those offensive, get more confident, get a shot down. Earlier, would have liked to see him take that look. Earlier in the season, when he was starting, his confidence was a little bit higher. Maybe he's got to work back toward it. But another player who's got the talent to be, by the time this class is seniors, they could be running the Northern Shores.
Well, that's one thing that I think a lot of Charlevoix fans, myself included, even though I won't be around here for it, certainly do look forward to hearing about it. This senior class, they're getting a trial by fire on this varsity squad as a bunch of sophomores, and there is undeniable talent here between all these guys. It'll just be a matter of allowing that talent to blend and meld together over the next 2 years.
Absolutely.
It's not uncommon to see someone like Joe Gaffney start on the varsity team. Every once in a while you get a freshman starting, but to get a whole group of sophomores out there starting on the floor against a very well-equipped team like this Elk Rapids Elks, it's going to be tough sledding for your first season altogether.
And there's a lot of really great seniors on that Elks team as well. And they're just coached very well. Kevin Ball, just one of the premier coaches up here, just in Northern Michigan in general. And that's why Elk Rapids year after year is a basketball school.
You could say he's got great ball knowledge.
He sure does.
So after the opening minute and 10 go by in this quarter, no score change except 2 points added on from the Stanfest free throws for Elk Rapids. Speaking of that, he's left wide open, gets that one. McNamara couldn't catch up in time. And Stanfest up to 6 points now already on the evening, trailing only Kerfoot with 7.
This defense is smothering as they just are running the passing lane, blitzing with the double teams. They are trying to run them out the gym.
Resco nearly took the McNamara pass away. He'll go all the way in, gets that one to drop in, 4-2.
Well, that was a good finish by McNamara. Horesco tried to poke away, held the ball firm, got to his spot, finish of the contact. Another sophomore with a promising future.
Charlevoix, for their credit, gets their 4th different score of the game. The problem is nobody has more than 3. And that'll be a turnover coming up on Moore. And Peter Yanchulis comes out on the court for the first time this evening.
Another guy, one of the biggest hustlers on this team. He plays with so much heart, and not to discredit some of these other guys, but Yanchulis is very noticeable how much he loves the game. He's in the gym early, all the 8 a.m. open courts. You'll see number 11 there. He sure wants to get better, and I'll repeat myself for the 3rd time, another promising sophomore.
Yeah, exactly, and he's such a humble guy, too, and, of course, a very important piece to the Raider football squad as well, being our kicker, so time only will allow him to develop and fill in some big shoes on this varsity team as well, as that'll be a quick foul tagged on Moore.
And one thing the Elks do a lot is they kind of test the refs, meaning they play very hard, aggressive defense and are like, hey, are you going to call this or not? Because as we sure know, each ref crew has, are we going to be tighting on this? Or maybe the fourth quarter, what tight, we let them play, we feel out the game. And the Elks always are testing that to see what they can get away with.
Gaffney with it here off the inbound. Tries to work his way into the paint. Nice dump off to Jacobs. Not able to get that one to go. Gets his own rebound. Spins around. Puts it up. That one falls away as well. Yanchulis tried to get it away from the hands of Cannon, but too much there. Back to the Elks we go. But what an opportunity that was for the Raiders to score, especially with Jacobs just not able to get it to fall. Kerfoot not able to get that one to go. Kerplunk back into the hands of McNamara, and the Raiders we go.
Yeah, it was a good offensive rebound by Jacobs. You just got to look for the pass out there as there's a lot of Elks there. Gaffney trying to force that shot as well.
Yeah, he did. Had a lot of contact there, trying to force it, just as you said. Resko spins around, gets it to Kerfoot, and that might be one of the more fun plays I've seen on a high school squad in a long time, Jared.
That was quite the assist there, and good IQ, knowing the trailer was going to be right there. Didn't have to really look. Kerfoot just found the right spot. I believe Resko's another senior there, so senior connection.
Yep. Raiders find themselves down by 15, 4:39 to go here in the first half. Gaffney pulls up for 4 steps behind the arc. That one's just short, right into the hands of Plum. Resko working against Gaffney. Gaffney strips it away, and he'll tiptoe along the line there, get it back to the Elks.
The way the Elks are playing tonight, it really reminds me of the way Harbor Springs likes to play. They love to just sprint down the field and say, or the court, and kind of say, hey, can you keep up with us? And right now, Charlevoix is having a hard time keeping up with them as the Elks are just galloping down the court. Well,
another thing the Elks have are a lot of quality subs, as we see Braden Flutie make his way into the game for the first time tonight. Of course, one of the many talented football players for the Elks squad. He was quarterback, and Jared, I believe he had some other positions as well, played for the team this past season.
Yeah, ended up kind of becoming a gadget guy.
Yeah.
He was great out of the backfield, had a lot of touchdowns in those short yard situations. Just a good athlete all around.
Cannon here gets that one off to Stanfest. Round to Kerfoot. Hey, Carter, speaking of football, gets the interception, and he's one of the receivers on the Raiders squad. That'll be a jump ball. Raiders will have the possession.
And that's already his second steal. We're not even through the second quarter. So I'm telling you, you watch it. Next thing you know, 5 comes away with that ball.
And it's great to see. Earlier this season, he was not quite into the form I remember in his freshman season. But even this game alone, I've seen some more confidence get back into his performance. And that is a great assist by McNamara to get Ian Moran the ball. And he's the first Raider to get to 5 points so far this evening, as it's 12-25. Elk Rapids on top. Kerfoot trying to get around Moran. Finds Cannon. Bullseye there.
That was a tough shot. That was pretty good contest there by Jan Chulas, and just better offense. Can't really be too upset.
Third Elk with 5 points or more so far this evening.
And looks like the refs are trying to maybe crack down a little bit on the Elks' physicality.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, they test it. They really like to play with physicality. You've got Cannon and Flutie, some football players out there. Maybe trying to make it a little bit more in their neck of the woods.
Yeah. Charlevoix led the foul count last quarter, 3-2. Now it's Elk Rapids' turn, 3-1. Charlevoix brings Brody Horgan back out onto the floor. Moran looking for the right opportunity with Flutie hanging all over him. Sends it back up top to Horgan. I'll be back to Greenacre. Spins his way out of a jam there. Stops, wait for the opportunity. Puts it up from mid-range. Gets it in.
Beautiful. Just used the head fake. That's a veteran move right there by the sophomore.
I love hearing that phrase. Veteran move by a sophomore. Oh, Horgan nearly was able to save that one, but lost his balance and had to take a step out of bounds.
Well, I got to say, after that last time out, it looks like, I'm not sure what Coach Troshak said to them, but there's a little bit more fire and energy moving in this squad.
There is indeed. Will it be enough, though? As they're still down by 13, 27, 14. Pretty much anything the Raiders have done, the Elks say, well, anything you can do, I can do better so far in this game. So we'll see what the Raiders are able to do, as we've got a quick 30-second timeout called by, speaking of that, Coach Troshak and the Raiders staff. Well, Jared, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Next Level Broadcasting TVC Showcase coming up. That'll be tomorrow all day. First game tips off at noon, and we'll be running right through till about 9:30 tomorrow night. 5 great games, 10 schools from around the state. I mean, I'm talking all the way up to Menominee and Ishpeming, all the way down to the Grand Rapids, even to the Detroit area. Schools coming all over to play against 5 different TVC area schools right in Traverse City. That's the Northern Michigan Showcase on Next Level Broadcasting, as well as the NFHS Network and nextlevelbroadcasting.net. Again, first game tips off at noon tomorrow. Biggest day of the year for Next Level Broadcasting. Yeah, as we get back underway here, 3:12 to go in the half. Back up top to Kerfoot, around to Stanfest. Again, maintain that 13-point lead. McNamara with a nice takeaway there. Gets it off to Yanchulis. Waits for everyone to go by, but unfortunately drags the toe. Gets the travel call. As our buddy Eric Huffman likes to say, pack your bags. He's traveling with TVC Cherry Capital Airport.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to be traveling with TVC
That's right.
Airport tomorrow. Got to be up bright and early. Get down there and find some sun and sand.
Heading to Florida tomorrow.
It's a time coming, but right now we got a pretty good game. And speaking on that showcase, there's a few undefeated seasons on the line in that game. I believe there's 2 teams that are undefeated: TC Christian and Pickford.
Yeah.
Be a good watch. Get the wife or girlfriend. That's why it's beautiful. You can have it on your phone. You can spend some day with them and checking on the scores.
That's right, because there's nothing better I could think of doing than calling a ball game when my girlfriend's down in Grand Rapids. Hello, Grace, on Valentine's Day. But, hey, while we're talking about that, Carter Greenacre delivers 2 more for the Raiders.
Yeah, nice move by Greenacre. He's starting to realize he's stepping up as you see him clap it there on the court. He's starting to feel himself, and, hey, this lead's getting a little bit closer. And
yeah, for what it's worth, Carter Greenacre gets almost another takeaway there. That'll be a travel call against Flutie.
Well, I'm telling you, when the Charlevoix players can play at their peak, especially a guy like Carter Greenacre, they can really beat anyone. And I know that might seem a little stretchy, look at these records, but he is that good of a player.
He was last year. He and Gaffney were a deadly 1-2 duo from behind the arc. Let me tell you, both of them, especially Greenacre, for whatever reason last year, just seemed automatic. You got him the 3-point or the ball anywhere beyond the 3-point arc, it was almost a guaranteed shot to go in. Horgan knocks that one away. He hasn't gotten any steals, but that young man right there is providing Elk Rapids a lot of trouble at this end of the court so far.
Yeah, the passing lanes have really been early dominated by the zone defense of the Elks, but the second quarter adjustments by Troshak have been very impressive. And Charlevoix definitely is not giving up in this game.
No.
I mean, it's Friday. Maybe they got Friday plans, but I think their plans right now are to knock off what would be the upset of the year.
15-3 Elk Rapids versus 5-13 Charlevoix. Hogan gets a couple there. His first points of the game, Mr. Brody Horgan. And for what it's worth, back within single digits. It was a 15-point differential midway through the second quarter, 25 to 10. It's now 27-18. Raiders on a 8-2 spurt.
They've got to keep that defense stout, though.
Up top to Flutie, thought about it, works his way along the baseline. And a 3-point try goes in and out. Somehow Yanchulis almost came down with it. Unfortunately, he hit the ground before the ball, wasn't able to gather control. Kerfoot tries to knock one in for 3. That one does not go. Raiders have it back. Wow. That gets the crowd on their feet after all that.
Yeah, well, you can see the effort. Yanchulis hit the ground hard, but didn't even seem to be phased.
No.
Got right back up, scrapping for the rebound. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not sure that wasn't off on Greenacre, but hey, you know what? The Raiders need it right now, and their defense they're showing up.
I know.
I think they can taste some blood in the water, and they're trying to dominate and take over.
They've definitely landed a couple of big punches so far here in the latter half of the second quarter. See if they can continue this slight momentum shift. Moran fires over to Mr. Greenacre, works the baseline with an underhanded, no good. Kerfoot comes away with it after wrangling that away from McNamara. Gets it back over to Stanfest, charges his way up court against 3 different Raiders, puts it up, no good. Horgan tries to come down with it, not able to wrangle it up again as it goes out of bounds. So the Elks will have another opportunity.
Yeah, I think the Raiders were also excited to get that rebound.
Yeah.
They kind of played a little defense on themselves. But, hey, if they really want to get a shot in this game, 54 seconds, you got to keep that defense stout, get the ball back. Even if you don't score, you cannot let them score.
Plum finds Resko up top to Stanfest. That's not someone you want to leave open for 3. That one goes dead off the heel. Into the hands of Moore. Back up top to Kerfoot. Around Teresco again. Thinks about it. Unloads to Moore. Carter Greenacre closes in. Back up top we go. Stanfest from the same spot. Doesn't try it. Plum thinks about it. Goes in for himself. Delivers the mail for the first score for Elk Rapids in over 2.5 game minutes.
Beautiful pump fake there by Drew Plum. Got Horgan off his feet and just had the easy layup. You can't really teach it better than that, Shane.
So for the moment, that stops the bleeding that the Raiders have been caused. Goes back up to an 11-point lead, 29-18. Carter Greenacre gets that one knocked away. McNamara goes for the scrum. And that'll be a foul coming up here against Elk Rapids.
Well, Kerfoot had a lot of contact on Greenacre. Didn't see the foul there. And I think they're happy to Coach Troshak. I could hear him. I'm not sure exactly what he said. I just heard a lot of loud noise from him. And I would be upset if I was a coach, too. I think Greenacre was getting a little too much contact there as McNamara is going to try and force a tough shot there. But hey, he's going to take a trip to the free throw line.
Ref saw enough there, called the foul. And that'll be against Stanfest. So Kerfoot, then Stanfest gets back-to-back fouls called in about 5 game seconds here. McNamara for Charlevoix's only, I believe, second trip to the free throw line so far this game. First one goes away. Cannon comes back in for Stanfest.
Yeah, one of those games in the game against a team like this, you got to you got to make the free throws. It's so cliche, say it all the time, but you cannot leave points on the board against a defense like this. He's got to at least knock this one down. Good hit by him. 1 for 4. Charlevoix is from the free throw line, and they got to get there and hit.
You're not going to win a game at 25% from the line. Moore leaves a little bit left to be desired on that one. And that'll leave the Raiders about a half second here to do a half-court Hail Mary at least to get this one within 10. It's at 10 right now. Try to get that into single-digit range.
Moore looked like he hesitated there as Greenacre kind of faked the block, not wanting to draw the foul.
I guess the refs will say it was last touch by Charlevoix. So Elk Rapids will keep it.
With .6, they pretty much just need a tip in.
Yep. Plum the man on the inbound. Well, they got a tip, but it was from the wrong guy. No count there on the shot. It was after the buzzer. Moore put it in after Mr. Yanchulis broke that up. So it stays a 10-point differential here, 29-19 as we go into the halftime break. We're going to step aside for a few commercials and come back with your South Point Collision halftime show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the other side of these messages.
Your next stop for flavor, freshness, and fun is Gray Gables Restaurant. Since 1936, we've been serving up delicious gourmet dishes and drinks in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Everything is made using fresh ingredients, including locally sourced meat and fish. Our bar features several local Michigan beers on tap and an excellent bourbon selection. Did you know we also cater? Let Gray Gables enhance your next event with our catering services.
Come dine with us at the Gray Gables Restaurant in Charlevoix the Beautiful.
Life gives us enough to deal with, like doing your taxes, hosting in-laws.
Oh, you're still trying to do the beard thing, huh?
And of course, filing an insurance claim. But luckily, Auto Owners makes it easy. They pay what they owe, without any hassle. That's simple human sense.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
I got one for you, boss.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what's black, white, and dented all over?
I give up.
The company truck? Yeah, it's bad.
But thanks to our agent, we've already submitted the claim and can track the status right from the app. Auto Owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Lucky for you, that's simple human sense.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
EJ is proud to support East Jordan Athletics here on Next Level Broadcasting, making it easy to stay in touch with your hometown team wherever you are. Compete with heart and play with integrity. EJ is the leader in the design, manufacture, and distribution of access solutions for water, sewer, drainage, telecommunication, and utility networks worldwide. Driven by unparalleled customer service, exceptional solutions, global expertise, and local understanding. That's EJ, a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
Looking for a coffee shop that feels like home? Iron Goat Coffee welcomes locals and visitors with cozy spaces, friendly service, and organic, locally roasted coffee. Find them in East Jordan and Walloon Lake. And while you're there, enjoy the best coffee in northern Michigan, right there at Iron Goat Coffee.
With unique gifts, home accessories, wedding items, and so much more, the Lake House on Bridge Street offers so many things to make your home or even your visit to Charlevoix that much more special. When you want beautiful items that reflect Charlevoix the beautiful, stop in or visit them online at thelakehousecharlevoix.com for your own keepsake and your own personal memory of Charlevoix.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
Right back. Always going to pull it. Got it. Condon has it. Left block. Slams it home. The Glen Lake student section, they're pumped up.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport, TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Hi, I'm Orion, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installations, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike other service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding your gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
This is Noah's Ark. It's more than just sports. It's your pathway for growth. A building block for the future you. And your pathway to the healthiest version of yourself. Noah's Ark is only the beginning step. And your time is now to take control and design the road ahead of your own unique journey. The journey to your truth. This is the Ark, Noah's Ark. Won't you step up to your better you today?
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Alrighty, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to our South Point Collision halftime show. Shane Smith, Jared Stamen, Derek Steele, Carter Doolittle, bringing this one to you live here from downtown Charlevoix. It's a 29-19 affair. That was a fun game, but I got to tell you, Jared, these second, third graders have been a fun game as well. This white team especially, they've gotten 5 points so far from that number 0, just got the ball taken away, and then number 50 here that just crossed half court. He's been pretty darn spot on so far. This has been a fun game. Another shot goes up. But we've got our big kid game to talk about, and I know you've got some thoughts here about Charlevoix's performance so far. They're not able to really fully match with Elk Rapids yet, but they've been keeping up, especially in the latter half of that second quarter.
I mean, yeah, Elk Rapids, pound for pound, may be the better team, but I'll tell you, that score, I've been extremely impressed. After that first quarter, it looked like Elk Rapids, they were up to 15 points. They looked like the dominant presence. Well, they were going to take care of business tonight. And I'm not sure if it was Coach Troshak, Greenacre, Gaffney, another leader on the team, but someone lit a fire under them because they came out and they were playing. They were all over the passing lanes. They were playing with some of the most hustle that you see them play that maybe against Boyne City, right?
Yeah.
But Elk Rapids, they met. They're a conference rival. You don't love the guys, but there's not that built-in hatred, really. But they're playing with that. Greenacre's been great defensively and offensively. A lot of times he doesn't step up until the second half. Stepping up in the second quarter hopefully continues into the second half. Gaffney hasn't been able to really be as much of an impact as you would like for this score, but that's actually a really good thing because with even out his impact, you're still only down 10, and those last few minutes held them to only 2 points, played good offense. There's a lot to be excited about in the second half. I think we're going to have a game.
I think so. You took the words right out of my mouth. Oh, that was another close one. Gaffney has not gotten a score on the bucket yet, and for the Raiders, how about a score on the scoreboard yet? And for the Raiders to stay within 10 without Gaffney is a good sign for them here. And we do want to go through a bit of a scoring update through the first half of the game. Elk Rapids has 6 different scorers to Charlevoix's 5. The scoring leader so far out on the floor is Cameron Kerfoot. He's got 9 points, followed by Stanfest with 6 and Cannon with 5. Charlevoix's scoring leaders are Carter Greenacre with 7, Ian Moran with 5, and he's what got things started off earlier this evening with a 3, which was a great way. I haven't seen Ian Moran make many threes, so for him to step into that role, get that wide open 3 was a nice beginning for the Raiders. And then McNamara has also chipped in 4 so far this evening. So a pretty even matchup in the final about 5 minutes of that second quarter. And the Raiders, they've been able to find some strength through adversity so far in this game. They've been outmatched, but then you bring in a couple of guys like Brody Horgan, for example. He hasn't been able to make many shots. He does have 2 points so far to his tally, but someone like him, and as you mentioned, Carter Greenacre, and also McNamara, those 3 have been really kind of cutting off the passing lane so far, limiting a lot of Elk Rapids' shots down there, but also taking away some of their second and third opportunities with some of those offensive rebounds. Peter Yanchulis really came in and made some differences there as well.
Yeah, some adjustments that I'm thinking that Charlevoix is going to want to make is, really the adjustments they made in that second quarter were great. They started being able to break through the zone man that they've been playing. And, well, the thing is they switched to man. And once I switched to man, the Elks, it didn't look as good. So, if I'm Kevin Ball, I'm going to say, hey, let's go back to zone, giving them some trouble, make them pass, use our length to our advantage. And for Charlevoix, they got to break the zone. And part of that reason it's hard for them to break the zone is they don't have great three-point shooters. But as I mentioned in the first quarter, we saw Horgan and Moran, guys you don't usually see shoot, 1 for 2. They only shot 2. But, hey, 1 for 2. You want to keep that up and keep these guys confident because if you can start knocking them down and threatening out, spread this zone defense, you get the centers opened up, you get cutting in, you can score a lot of points. And I really think right now I could really see Charlevoix pulling out in this third and fourth. The Elks have, a lot of ability to just shut things down.
Yeah.
They're 15-3. Those losses, in case you guys are curious, Petoskey, pretty tough loss. They're pretty good. You've got an overtime game in Ludington in the Cadillac tournament, another great team, and they lost to Kingsford, debatably one of the best teams in the UP. Right. So, you look at their resume, you really can't do much better. And to only be down 10, considering the rocky road that the Charlevoix Raiders have had this season, hey, they should be proud of that first half.
Alrighty, well, that'll conclude our South Point Collision halftime show. We're going to step away for a quick word from our friends at the TVC Cherry Capital Airport, who Jared's going to go see tomorrow morning, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season long with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Alrighty, coming back in here, just about ready to get play underway. Elks will have the ball to begin this second half. 29-19, Shane Smith, Jared Stamen bringing this one to you live. I almost said Jared Stairman. Works too, I guess.
Yeah, close enough.
Oh, man. We have fun up here.
Sometimes.
Once in a while.
Yeah, well, it's time to time.
Can't stand them most of the time, but I guess we get along enough on air.
Yeah, we put it together when it matters. Huh?
Yeah, right. We'll put our axes aside and quit stabbing each other in the back for a broadcast, I suppose. But here we go. Stanfist looking down McNamara's nose. Gets it around here to Horesco, left wide open from the corner. You don't want to do that to begin the second half. Thankfully, he did not get it. If you're a Raider fan, McNamara gets the rebound. Gets back across the half-court line. Gaffney had it for a brief moment. That'll be tipped away by Stanfest, staying at this end. Somehow it made it clean up and over Gaffney without touching him once. That was pretty interesting there.
Yeah, one thing that teams have done as the season's progressed is they just have an off guy. It's kind of like what they do with Steph Curry in the NBA. They just have a guy trail him the whole entire game. And it's hard for Gaffney to break free. Right now they've got Hilly just draped over him all game, and that's part of the reason his impact has not been as felt as the second half of the season's gone on.
And that's still a credit to Gaffney's skill. Obviously, he may not be at 100% after that terrible accident this past spring, but still the fact that we know that he is a very good three-point shooter, just like Greenacre as he buries that one in. They still have someone stuck on Gaffney like duct tape on a leaky hose. We'll just go with that, I suppose. But Carter Greenacre was left open there. Makes the Elks pay for it. And for the first time since midway through the first quarter, the Raiders are within 10. Horrigan gets another stop there. Unfortunately, so did Hilly. Gets it back for the Elks. Now Horesco puts it up. That one falls dead off the side of the iron. No good. Horrigan gets it taken away by Horesco, though. Trying again. Draws contact. Gets that one to spin up and over the rim.
That's unfortunate because that undermines the great defense by Moran. Yeah. Both times there he contested. Stanfest on the first one caused the miss. Horesco on that one. His transition, his help defense has been fantastic on those last two plays.
Raiders down but not out here in this game. They've come out just as strong as they finished the second quarter.
It does look like the Elks are back in the zone, Shane.
Yeah. So we'll see how the Raiders are able to adjust to that. That one goes off of Gaffney. He's able to gather it back up, though. From the coffin corner, that was an attempted pass to Greenacre. Right there was Stanfest to get it away. Carter Greenacre gets another steal, number 3. Jared holds up to me. And there's Gaffney left open, gets his first points of the game, becomes the Raiders' 6th score of the night.
Some of the easiest points Gaffney's seen all season is most of the time he's not the guy on the fast break.
Stanfest answers right back with a 4-foot floater.
And that's Stanfest's game, his ability to elevate, use his length to his advantage, and that's why he's been one of the best players in the Northern Shores.
8 points now for Stanfest. Remains a 9-point affair, 33-24. Moran holding steady here against Horesco. Finds his way and will draw some contact here.
Yeah, just the physicality of the Elks. It's mostly to their advantage, but sometimes you get silly fouls like that they probably wouldn't love. And, you know, one of the things that has happened in a lot of games is Tyler Stanfest, a guy who does play physical, will get foul trouble early, and it just throws off the mojo of their game. Something Elks, the Raiders might want to target.
Horesco picked up his second foul there. That was a nice look between Greenacre and Moran, and the behind-the-back pass to McNamara got past him, unfortunately. But
little white chocolate there, Jason Williams.
Nice. 3 minutes gone by here, just about in the quarter. The Raiders holding within 9. Kerfoot over to Horesco, back up top. Inside to Moore. Good find there to Mr. Hilly. And that, believe it or not, for all that he's done tonight, those are his first 2 points of the game.
Well, the reason he's gotten the start over the last about 2-3 weeks is his defense. As he will get called for the foul there, but just a really great defender. Didn't see that early on in the season. We were at that Pregame Invitational, had sparing minutes. Mind you, they were playing some pretty stiff competition in Kingsford. As we mentioned, if anyone's got a chance to watch those Flivers, whew, they are a team to beat. I'm surprised they didn't try to come back down to Traverse City to see if they can run it.
Who knows? Maybe St. Francis, the host of that tournament, saw them enough already this season.
Yeah, they might have, because they were at that. They were at the Ray Graham.
Yeah. So that'll be another foul against Resco. His second here in about a minute and a half on the game so far. They got the Raider crowd excited because he'll be taking some time on the bench. Gaffney here on the inbound. 4:47 going the third. Moran working against Cannon. Gets it across the Raider logo. Feeds off to Horgan. That one takes a Raider roll and gets in.
Good find. Drawing the defense. Horgan positions himself perfectly for the easy lay.
Raiders with a good balanced scoring effort. And that'll be a very light foul coming up against Charlevoix as Stanfest lays that one in.
He's one of those guys where if you think you might foul him, you just gotta really foul him, because he can finish through contact extremely easily, and those and one opportunities stack up. He probably if there is some advanced stats out there somehow, I'm sure he leads the Northern Shores in and one attempts. Him and Kerfoot both are very, very good at. They're very savvy players.
So Stanfest, after a couple of bounces, gets that one to fall. Horgan picks up his second foul of the game now for Charlevoix, and it's back to a 12-point difference, 38-26. No foul call there against Gaffney, and they will call it that time. Stanfest gets the Oscar there.
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely, a little arm there, but definitely didn't get it the first time. Wanted to really sell it the second time. But hey, think of some of the best players in the NBA. They've made a lot of money, little Oscar nominations here and there.
Think of our friend Eric Huffman. He certainly got some nominations back in the day.
Won
some awards. He'll admit it, too.
Oh,
he's
sure
not afraid
will.
to. Stanfest works it up there. Kerfoot tries to clean things up. Moran comes down with it. Bounces off his head. Oh, my gosh, what a mess here. Hilly got away with it. Got it off to Kerfoot. And Kerfoot is the second player for the Elks to cross the 10-point mark. He's up to 11 now. And Charlevoix is going to take a full timeout here. Much needed. They brought it within 9, a couple different points. It's now expanded once again to 14. The wheels are kind of wobbling once again on Charlevoix's apple cart. So we're going to send it away for another quick break. Come back on the other side of this.
Hi, it's Kevin Klein from TVC Airport. We're proud to help keep you connected to high school sports in Northern Michigan, so you can stay in the game all season with TVC, your Northern Michigan connection.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our Northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
All righty, here we go. A much-needed full timeout here taken by Coach Troshak in the Raiders after they allowed the lead to expand back to 14, 40-26, 3:46 to go here in the third quarter. And a moonshot down to Talon Jacobs. Got that one knocked away by Mr. Hilly, and they'll tag him with a foul.
Well, Ian Moran, all-state running back, but looking like a little bit like a quarterback there. Maybe, Colin Jess taught him a few things.
Well, he did play quarterback, not this past season, but the season prior when Colin Jess's older brother, Brady Jess, was injured in game 2 or 3 of the 2024-25 football season. So Mr. Moran stood in there and did a fine job playing quarterback for the rest of the year. And filled in a little bit this past year as well for Colin at different points in time, as Jacobs gets the free throw to fall. That's his first point of the night, which is kind of a rarity from what I recall earlier on this season. So that's another big piece of this Raider cog here that has not been working at its full potential. But he gets both to fall. Raiders are back within 12. 40-28. Not out of the game by any stretch of the imagination, but need to keep it within 10 to 12 at most in order to keep themselves in this one. A good takeaway here.
Yeah, Jacobs with the tip, got the free throws, then got the tip, got him another possession.
Speaking of that, Kerfoot knocked that one out of Moran's hands. It'll be a fight for it. Plum wins. Plum brings it back here for the Elks. Dishes it over to Cannon. He shoots, he fires. That one's just off the mark. That'll remain here with the Elks.
And, there's a lot of talented players that you can mention on the Elks that are part of it. But when it comes down to it, you boil down their success. In my opinion, from what I've seen, it all comes down to Cameron Kerfoot. Yeah. He is just the motor, the engine of this team. Gets the heart pumping, gets them going. Super fun to watch.
Somehow Moore got that one knocked away. His teammate Plum was able to get it back to him, and he knocks in the mid-range J for his 6th point of the night.
Yeah, and the Raiders, try to make that comeback, but the thing is I was worried about is the defense from the Elks. They went back to that zone, and Charlevoix just does not have the answers to crack it.
Moran had too much steam behind him. That'll be, one ref says that was back to Elk Rapids. The other one says it's Charlevoix, so they'll talk about it. Charlevoix did bring it back within as close as 7, the opening about minute of this third quarter. They were down by 10 going into the halftime break. Had a 3-pointer fall, and it will stay here at this end of the court for Charlevoix. And since then, they've been rather stagnant on the scoring end, keeping this about a 14-point differential.
And it's a lot of times for them also the unforced turnovers, which could have been right there, another one. Just sometimes they play too rushed, not on the same page, and silly turnovers are just hard to overcome.
Lucky back into the game, gets it back off to Jacobs, now up top to McNamara, around to Moran. Jacobs left open, goes for the 3. It's a clean swish. Charlevoix brings it back within 11.
Yeah, Jacobs coming in and playing some good minutes. Got 5 points in the steal in the last minute and a half. Maybe got to feed the hot hand here.
Yeah, 42-31. Moran puts that one sky high for McNamara to grab. Up court to Blecky, not able to get that one to go. Into the hands of Plum once again. If you're a Raider fan, you might get tired of hearing that young man's name. Remains a 13-point game, 44-31, 1:35 to go in the third. Stanfest flying into the paint, gets it off to Cannon. He gets to the baseline, back over to number 1, Cole Graham. He buries one off the bench.
Depth, depth, depth.
Yeah.
That's really the name of the game, turnovers and depth. If you can get players that can keep playing the offense without really a hitch, and that's what you get with the Elks. I mean, when you have a deep veteran team, coach really solidly, makes sense why you got a 15-3 record.
No, yeah, no kidding. Graham opens this up to the biggest lead the Elks have had so far this game, 16 points. And he becomes the 8th scorer for Elk Rapids. Blecky gets the foul call and 2 points on the board.
I mean, there's still a lot of time left in this game. Yeah. And, we saw it in the first quarter. Elks look like, they're going to run away with it. Second quarter, you got Greenacre coming. Haven't seen him play. I don't know if they're saving him maybe for the fourth, get him rested up for a full 8 minutes. But curious, I just realized I haven't seen him in a couple minutes.
Yeah. Hey, there he got 3 points. 3-point play the old-fashioned way. Brings it back within 13. Again, the Raiders hanging around about a notch below the Elks, but they have not been knocked off the totem pole yet. 7 different scores for Charlevoix to their credit. Nobody has gotten over 10. Carter Greenacre sits at that mark currently. Still with just under a minute to go in the third. Quick back and forth between Stanfest and Cannon. Stanfest flying up court. Tried to take it all the way. That'll be knocked out by Charlevoix. I believe McNamara was the guilty party there. Went coast to coast in about 4.5 seconds. Cannon with the inbound. Gets that one up to Shockley. And that'll be a foul coming up against Charlevoix here. Against Patrick McClure. Jared, I think I heard a mouse squeak on the other side of the gym.
Yeah, they must have shined this floor pretty well because there's definitely a lot of little squeaks, and I didn't realize that's the 5th foul. I'm not sure how free throws aren't being shot right now, but that was a pretty easy double dribble call.
Yeah, they actually called it a travel. What I was meaning by the mouse squeak was it's so quiet in here, you could have heard a mouse squeak from the other side. Yeah.
Well, also, you hear all the squeaking on the floor with the shoes. Maybe like a little bit of a mouse, too.
You can see the reflection. Charlevoix does a nice job keeping their floor in good shape around here, no doubt.
That's for true.
The Raiders have it here. McNamara working his way against Stanfest. Stanfest all arms and legs, but boy, does he know how to use them. A very fast, very wry young man down there. Jacobs and the Raiders with 24 seconds to work with here in the third. Moran will take it, hangs on to it, back over to McNamara. He'll try his way into the paint, puts it up from about 6 feet, no good. And they'll say that was last off Charlevoix.
Yeah, that's a tough shot over Stanfest. McNamara can make that. I've definitely seen him. He's definitely a close shot kind of guy, but outstretched arms of Stanfest is going to limit the percentage of that look.
Cannon finds Graham. He goes for the mid-range J. No good. Into the hands of McClure and the Raiders. 3 seconds. Up court to Blecky. It'll be his shot to put up. Got it stripped away by Graham. No foul call. That takes care of the third quarter. We're going to step away for the final 8 minutes on the other side of this commercial break.
Looking for a coffee shop that feels like home? Iron Goat Coffee welcomes locals and visitors with cozy spaces, friendly service, and organic, locally roasted coffee. Find them in East Jordan and Walloon Lake. And while you're there, enjoy the best coffee in northern Michigan, right there at Iron Goat Coffee.
Right back. Oh, he's going to pull it. Got it. Condon has it. Left block. Slams it home.
The Glen Lake student section, they're pumped up.
Guys. Alrighty, coming in here, ladies and gentlemen, 8 minutes put up on the clock. Charlevoix down 13, 47-34. There's been a lot of back and forth here. Charlevoix gets within 7-10. Then Elk Rapids gets back within 13 to 15-point leads. We'll see if Charlevoix is able to continue to close that gap. Yanchulis is back out on the floor, joining Blecky, McNamara, Gaffney, and Jacobs. And a sell job there does not buy the refs, as McNamara is able to gather that one back up. Round the arc we go. Gaffney for three. Oh, just off the mark. McNamara somehow saves that one, goes up hard, not able to get that one to fall. Moore comes down with it. It'll be a jump ball, possession arrow favoring Elk Rapids. Boy, that was a interesting 30 seconds, Jared.
Yeah, Shane, one thing I see, this is not exclusive to Charlevoix, I see this on so many varsity squads, and it drives me absolutely nuts.
Okay.
Getting the offensive rebound and just instantly throwing it back up. There's 3 guys on you. You know what that means, Shane? For 3 guys on 1 person, it means there's 2 guys that are open. And you need threes. You need a good bucket. Pass it out. You got to take the extra pass there. Keep your possession. There's no shot clock. There's no rush to shoot the ball, and you see it all the time from these young guys.
Well, Moore will make Charlevoix pay for not having the patience there to look at those other opportunities. He puts 2 up on the board, brings it back to a 15-point lead, 49-34. 7 minutes to go, just about here in the game. As Cannon picks up a foul. That'll be his second this evening, first for the team.
Especially when you got a guy like Gaffney out there, you got to try and find him as much as you can in these types of situations. Big players come to play in big moments, and Gaffney is, even with whatever, he is still that guy.
Yeah, and Chulis got that one knocked away by Moore. It'll be a 2-on-1 here. Kerfoot wins that one. Gets 13 points on the evening now for that young man. McNamara, yes, that'll be a travel call. His dribble went a little bit too high, caught it up in his face, and took an extra step trying to put it back down, so away it goes. Another unforced turnover here by Charlevoix.
And they are unforced, but a lot of it does all stem from, I think, tired legs as the fourth quarter's gone on, and the Elks have just been sprinting the whole game, getting good substitutions in, while the Raiders have been sitting there sucking wind trying to keep up.
I mean, for the most part, it's been the same 5 to as much as 7 guys out on the court all night for Charlevoix. Another three-pointer goes up and in by Horesco, whereas Elk Rapids has subbed in pretty much they have subbed in every single player on their varsity roster, and there's only 3 of those guys, 3 of the 11, who have not scored so far this evening.
Yeah,
so
one of those guys isn't here. So
that's
really
true.
only 2.
Gaffney lights one up from deep.
Yeah, and that's what you need. You need Gaffney to get in a rhythm and shoot because he can get hot, and next thing you know, the range has opened up.
Oh, Grappa's not able to get that one. No, Gaffney bats it down into Jacob's hands. That'll be a foul coming up here against Plum.
And that was a good foul. Numbers favoring the Raiders there.
Gaffney right next to the scorer's table. Gets that one off to McNamara. 5:47 to go here in the ball game. Raiders down by 17. Moran left open. Back to McNamara. Now to Jacobs in the corner. He'll load one up and over it goes into the hands of Resco. Tried to knock that one away as it gets into Kerfoot's hands, and he delivers it right back into the bucket where it belongs if you're an Elk fan.
Yeah, such a nice touch on the ball. He can finish with the left or the right. Doesn't matter. He knows how to get that spin on the ball. A guy I could probably teach. He could teach me a few things about about basketball in general.
19-point game, ties for the biggest lead Elk Rapids has had so far.
And you know, Shane, it's Friday, but it's Friday the 13th.
Ew. That's
right before Valentine's Day. It's got, I guess, holidays for some today and tomorrow.
For a very select some, I suppose, on a day like today. Moran here, steering down more, works along the baseline, gets that one tipped. A little bit too much contact for the ref's liking there against Kerfoot. He'll draw the foul.
As Moran's going to shoot these free throws, we were talking about this pregame. We got a pretty good basketball game tonight in the college world.
Uh-oh.
We got Michigan State playing Wisconsin. They tipped off a few minutes ago. And, well, the scoring update for those who were not watching, State is down 17-10 in the first quarter. 5 minutes have been played, so, a little early. But, hey, those Badgers, man, they knocked off the Wolverines trying to sweep the mitten, see if they can do it.
The Badgers are one of those teams, man, that you don't want to overlook them because they've had a very strong, just a slightly overlooked, but still strong overall season. They've had some great top 25 wins so far.
And that's one of those programs where they're just always great. Badgers,
yeah,
always in contention, never want to take that team lightly.
And that'll go in by Mr. Jake Moore.
Moore's had a few of those. They just do a good job getting those bounce passes right to Morris. Greenacre's back in the game.
Yeah.
Curious why he sat so long. I know he's been plagued by an ankle injury. Wonder if that's playing a factor tonight.
Oof, goes in and out. Nice putback, though, by Patrick McClure.
Well, that's exciting to see. If you can get Jan Chulas and McClure to be your starting centers, rotating out, dangerous.
Wow. Speaking of dangerous, Jaden Oresco knocks in another one from deep. He's up to 11 tonight. That is 4 different Elk Rapids scores with 10 points or more so far this evening. 61-41 game, 20-point differential. Yep, we're going to step aside. Be back after this.
Looking for a coffee shop that feels like home? Iron Goat Coffee welcomes locals and visitors with cozy spaces, friendly service, and organic, locally roasted coffee. Find them in East Jordan and Walloon Lake. And while you're there, enjoy the best coffee in northern Michigan, right there at Iron Goat Coffee.
coming back in, ladies and gentlemen. 4:18 to go in this one. Charlevoix finds themselves in a pickle, down 61-41. It might be getting to be the point where it'll be a bit too far out of reach for them tonight, but they've still, overall, put up a pretty good fight against the Elks.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming in against the best team in the Northern Shores. I mentioned it throughout the night because, well, I mean, Sheboygan for a minute had us thinking they might be the top dog, and then Elks have knocked them off twice relatively handily. The first one was close.
Yeah.
But Elks really running the Northern Shores, and they're just a very good dominant team as Greenacre showing some of that scoring ability. Going to get and one potential.
Carter up to 12 points now in the evening. One thing that I like to, see for Charlevoix, very balanced scoring effort. For the Raiders, only 3 players have not scored. Just like we've seen on the Elks, only 3 players for the Raiders have not scored on the Raiders side of the ball, and nobody has scored less than 3 points who have gotten out there. So it's a very good thing to see. These players are gelling. They are finding ways to get break-up passes, to get those shots off. It's just when you're a 5-13 sophomore-heavy team going against, like you said, Jared, the best team in the Northern Shores, senior heavy, you're just not going to have that great of luck, probably 95% of the time.
Yeah, you got to play almost a perfect game. You got to get contributions from guys that don't normally contribute, and you got to avoid things like that.
Yeah.
Costly turnovers this point in the game, not really going to kill you, but, you know, you'd like to finish the game strong no matter what the score is. Build it into the next game because, hey, after this weekend, Shane, well, I guess not next week, but the week after that, we're going to have districts going on. So, hey, you know, throw your records out the window. You can make a run at any moment.
Yeah, you very well could. Whatever week that'll be, you could certainly make a run. Just giving you a hard time.
23rd.
Okay.
Starting on the 23rd.
All right.
How about that?
That works for me. Graham back in as the Elks had a bit of a shift change down here on the floor. Give most of their starters well-deserved break here for the rest of the game. 3 and a little change to go. And Graham, you saw down there, number 1, Cole Graham, that is, came off the bench earlier, and he's in that same corner where he was a few moments ago. He'll step into that 3 just off there, but he had a brilliant 3 earlier on in the game. He'll get that one after Shockley knocked it away. Stanfest finds Hilly. And to the corner we go. Graham from the opposite side of the arc. That one falls short. And that'll be Charlevoix ball with 2:41 to go.
Hey, taking wide open shots. Never going to complain about that if you're
No.
Kevin Ball. He knocked down the first one. Both good looks. He had that nice little pump fake sidestep earlier there. I thought he was going to knock that down. You would have heard the Elk Rapids bench explode on that one.
Yep, he's just got to dial it in a little bit more, and he's a junior, so he probably hasn't gotten quite the playing time compared to his senior counterparts. So next year, certainly keep an eye out for Mr. Cole Graham. He might be a accuracy force to be reckoned with, specifically behind the arc there. Greenacre stopped here at the key, gets it back over to Moran, takes the lucky Raider bounce and falls in.
Oh, it was a good find and a bit of a needle threader there by Greenacre to get it to his guard.
61-45. Shove back up top and around to Graham. He'll try again. That one bounces in. Second 3 of the night for him.
Yeah, and he got a little head shake there because it looked like he didn't have it. Took a nice Elk Rapids bounce right in for the 3.
I like Cole Graham. He seems to be just that kind of unassuming guy down there. Decent player. Carter Greenacre tries for a 3 of his own. That falls away. But, hey, he's made 2 big shots so far in this game for the Elks. And that'll be a charge. Yeah, that one. I believe that one a little bit more than the charge earlier against, I believe that was Talent Jacobs.
Yeah, anytime you lower the head, lower the shoulder, kind of give a football trucking move there, it's pretty easy whistle for the officials. No one's really going to complain too much.
No. And 90 seconds to go here. Elk Rapids looking to wrap this one up. Have at least a 19-point lead, 64-45, and that's a travel call. So Charlevoix will get it at least once more this game.
Oh, Haley, you know, it might not matter. That 3 did go in. A little frustration from him because, hey, all these guys trying to score as many points as they can, especially at this point in the game,
Yeah.
It's like to look back at kids and say, hey, look, your old man, he scored 600 points back in his day. Or,
Yeah.
some of the rare 1,000-point scorers.
Now you've got the footage to be able to prove it for your kids at the high school level.
Yeah. No more he said, she said.
That's right. Provided by Next Level Broadcasting. Hopefully YouTube will still be around in 30, 40 years, and you'll be able to show your kids and grandkids that.
Well, whether it's not, one thing that I did know that Next Level Broadcast has been offering recently is, get in contact with us. We can actually get you guys on some, for grad party seasons coming up. A lot of kids play sports.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people there making custom highlight reels. So, hey, if you're interested in any of that, help you with grad parties, Next Level Broadcasting 14 at gmail.com.
Yep.
Send us something. We'll get you guys hooked up, get a nice edit going for you. Memory to keep forever.
That's right. Next Level Broadcasting, proud to provide all those different opportunities for you. Just call or send us an email, and we'll be happy to get you covered in any media service that you may have. As Isaac Bentz becomes the 9th scorer for Charlevoix, gets a point there at the charity stripe. 64-46 now the score with 40 seconds to go. They'll be across the court to Stanfest. Playing a game of keep away as Flutie not able to get that one to go. Up top for the three-point try. Bounces up and away, no good from Hilly. Moran came down with it. Shockley back to Flutie. That's a good teammate right there as it goes in and out. Moran not able, or gets the rebound rather.
And he's smiling a little annoyed. He could have taken the shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get the assist. And then Brandon Flutie missed it. He's probably going to say, hey, man, what you doing selling my assists?
Short me. Here we go. Final three-point shot of the game. That was Grayson Warchall. Came out there for a little bit of time. And that'll take care of it here in Charlevoix. The Elks 64, Raiders 46. We're going to step away, hear from our friends at Gray Gables Restaurant, and come back with their post-game show on the other side of this.
Your next stop for flavor, freshness, and fun is Gray Gables Restaurant. Since 1936, we've been serving up delicious gourmet dishes and drinks in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Everything is made using fresh ingredients, including locally sourced meat and fish. Our bar features several local Michigan beers on tap and an excellent bourbon selection. Did you know we also cater? Let Gray Gables enhance your next event with our catering services.
Come dine with us at the Gray Gables Restaurant in Charlevoix the Beautiful.
Good, you're good. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to our Gray Gables Restaurant and Catering post-game show. Why not have a nightcap at the Gray Gables after this game? Great weather for it, clear roads out there. Go stop by Gray Gables for all their great food, drinks, and everything in between. Jared, want to bring you in here for our post-game wrap-up here. Charlevoix had some great spurts of energy throughout this game, namely the end of the second quarter and kind of the transition between third and fourth quarter, but they just weren't quite able to hang on here as they come away with an 18-point loss to Elk Rapids, 64-46. Some of your thoughts here on this game?
Well, good effort. We knew coming into this one, what those decisions look like, Not too sure. I'm not on the bench. There could be injury concerns, all sorts of things that, we do not know. But just, some food for thought there. And just in general, as we've mentioned throughout, the good spreading the wealth. That's something I really like to see because the Raiders definitely are, ball heavy in the sense of Joe Gaffney and
Carter Greenacre.
Yeah, those are the main dominant forces down there. You see a handful from other guys, but spreading the wealth is good because it keeps teams honest, and that's I think why this score was actually, even though it was only 18, which isn't a horrible loss, it was as close as that because they were just killing them from so many different angles.
Well, all right, we'll get into a scoring wrap-up here and then call it a night in Charlevoix. For Elk Rapids, your scoring leader for tonight for that team and for both teams was Cameron Kerfoot. No surprise there. He had 15 points on the evening. Tyler Stanfest had 11, as well as Jaden Horesco and Jake Moore. 3 different players with 11 points there. Cole Graham with 6 there. A couple of great three-pointers in the latter half of the game. Mason Cannon with presentation exclusive broadcast of the Northern Michigan Showcase. 10 teams from around the state, with 5 of which from the Traverse City area, all meeting tomorrow to play some great games starting at noon, running all the way till almost 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. And I'll be right there along with Charles Strail and Eric Huffman and a lot of other of our Next Level Broadcasting crew members. So for all of us tonight, we want to thank Bingham Insurance, Gray Gables Restaurant and Catering, Pro Seamless Gutters, South Point Collision, Charlevoix State Bank, the Lake House, Noah's Ark, the Iron Goat, and TVC, Cherry Capital Airport, as well as you can't forget our good friends at Sky Media 45. So for all of us here, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Carter Doolittle, Derek Steele, Jared Stamen, and myself, Shane Smith. Thank you all again for tuning in. Have a great night. Have a great weekend, and we hope to see you all soon. Good night.